The 2023 Formula One season has seen the Aston Martin team become a subject of much debate. Once praised for their impressive start to the championship, they are now raising eyebrows for their sudden slump in performance. Fernando Alonso, once the main challenger to Red Bull, has seen his fortunes dwindle since the Austrian Grand Prix. With whispers of changes in Pirelli tyre construction or a potentially problematic upgrade package, the team is striving hard to grasp the root of the issue. However, there's a twist in the tale as chatter in the paddock alludes to the FIA's recent clampdown on flexible wings and Aston Martin's performance changes around the same time. Although no clear confirmation from the team exists, the evidence does seem to be pointing in that direction. The question now hanging in the air is whether this is a mere coincidence or a calculated strategy gone awry. Hello, folks. It's your host Enzo here. And joining him, it's me, William Turner. We're revving up for another exciting episode here on F1 Motor Fever podcast. Remember to subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss a beat. Now, full throttle, everyone. It's a bit puzzling, isn't it? The Aston Martin team, after an impressive 6 podium finishes in the first 8 races, has seen a significant drop in performance. There's a lot of speculation about the change in the team's luck. Some are pointing fingers at the change in Pirelli tyre construction, others are hinting at the upgrade package introduced in Canada. This package, while promising on paper, has reportedly caused changes in the car's dynamics that the team didn't initially grasp. Yes, indeed. It's quite an interesting scenario. It was all smooth sailing initially, with the low downforce and drag nature of the circuit Gilles Villeneuve masking any potential issues. But the problems became apparent on tracks that required a higher downforce. Absolutely. However, despite the dip in form, there are some signs of promise. Fernando Alonso's 5th-place finish in Belgium has left the team with a glimmer of hope. The feeling is they've found a turning point in understanding the car, giving them better expectations for the second half of the season. Let's see how this unfolds. Now, here's a bit of a twist. Some rivals in the paddock suggest there might be another explanation for Aston Martin's change in form. They believe it may be related to the FIA's crackdown on flexible wings. You see, if a team can design a front wing that's rigid enough to pass the garage load tests but flexes in a controlled manner under track speeds, it can unlock quite a performance advantage. This has been a constant battlefield between teams and the FIA, as making wings 100% rigid is nearly impossible. That sounds suspicious. I mean, it's all speculation at this point, but it might be worth looking into. We should confirm this. That's a good shout. Let's ring up our official reporter. Hi, hope you're doing well. We're trying to figure out if there's any truth to the speculation about Aston Martin's performance being linked to the FIA's crackdown on flexible wings. Can you shed some light on this? I see. Okay. Thanks for the insight, catch you later. Ending the call now. Well, it turns out that the speculation isn't just hot air. Our reporter confirmed it. Aston Martin's fluctuating performance indeed has connections with the FIA's crackdown on flexible wings. Astonishing, isn't it? I had a sneaking suspicion it might be the case. But it's always better to confirm before drawing conclusions. The benefits of a flexible front wing are quite noteworthy. It allows teams to run a higher downforce setup for the corners, flexing under speed on the straights to reduce drag. Onboard footage of Fernando Alonso in the early races definitely hints at Aston Martin using very high wing angles, along with noticeable wing flexing at top speeds on the straights. That's a clever strategy. Although, it seems the FIA wasn't too pleased with this. Indeed. It's been mentioned that around the time of the Azerbaijan Grand Prix, the FIA subtly warned several teams about their desire to see changes to prevent potential issues later in the year. It's not clear when these modifications will take effect, as the FIA usually gives teams a window to change their designs. But what is apparent is that around the time of the Spanish Grand Prix, Aston Martin's performance characteristics seem to have changed, particularly under low and medium speeds. So, the Aston Martin team did change their front wings. Well, the team neither confirms nor denies that it was one of several to modify their front wings. However, sources with good knowledge of the situation reveal that Aston Martin was indeed one of the teams that made changes. The exact modifications Aston Martin had to make are still unknown, but a detailed examination of the front wing reveals a change of direction around the time of the FIA's crackdown. As one can see, the current generation of wings produce 2 vortex structures generated from the metal flap adjustment stripes. Some teams even brought a third version using a pivot. That's quite the technical endeavor, Wouldn't you agree? An intriguing aspect is that this third model design was briefly seen on Aston's front wing in Monaco, but it hasn't been seen since. The area where this component was previously located can be clearly seen on the wing. Now, this third model isn't illegal, and in fact, it's been used by Alpine, Ferrari, Red Bull, and McLaren, each with their own variation. The absence of this from Aston might just be a coincidence, but it could also be that the team was using it to aid the wing's behavior with and without load. So it's all about the aerodynamics of the car and how it's affected by high speeds. Precisely. The pivot's angle is interesting as it's outward facing, potentially helping to direct the angle of this deflection under high speeds. Removal of the pivot, whether forced or deliberate, would certainly cause a change in the front wing's airflow characteristics. As for what's really happening with Aston Martin's front wing development, that's something only they truly know. What's clear is that the team isn't wasting any time in the pits, preferring to focus on finishing the year the same way they started. As McCullough stated, our goal is to have strong development throughout the year. We have the budget to continue developing the car, and that is our goal. So we'll take some steps to the end of the championship, as best we can. It's quite an admirable approach, don't you think? Hey, William, fancy taking a gander at what people are saying online about this? Absolutely. Here's a main post from Jovan Milik 97, quote, "We expect the FIA to grant Andretti a Formula One license. Then it's up to Formula One. It won't be easy to find good reasons to reject the entry and not violate EU laws. Formula One won't even be able to stop Andretti by keeping them out of the Concord Agreement," unquote. Interesting, what's the public opinion on this? Well, let's see. Tropical Conrad 221 says, quote, "I really think another couple of teams would be perfect. Any more than that and I'd start to worry a bit though," unquote. Sounds like fans are open to some new blood on the grid. Indeed, but there's a bit of back and forth. Love Effective 1349 says they'd like over 30 cars, which Living OOF responds would be absolute chaos once pre-qualifying kicks in. Ha! That would be a sight to see. Any other highlights? Yes, Ace 3000 brings up a good point, quote, "The limit is 26 cars. Unless you prefer to have pre-qualifying back," unquote. And there's an amusing suggestion from Stratocast 7, quote, "Let's run like WEC IMSA and have Formula 1, Formula 2, and Formula 3 all on track at the same time," unquote. Good lord, now that would be pandemonium. Any other comments catch the eye? Just one more, this one from Farting Bob, quote, "FIA Grade 1 tracks need a minimum of 24 garage slots in the pit lane. Some tracks are at that limit. Can't increase the number beyond that, or those tracks won't have the facilities to accommodate teams. No idea how Monaco managed it in the past when there were like 40 drivers trying to qualify," unquote. Seems like a logistical puzzle. It certainly does. Well, it's always fascinating to hear what folks are saying out there. Thanks for that, William Turner. And that's a wrap, folks. Thanks for your company on F1 Motor Fever podcast today. We've had a riveting chat about the exciting world of Formula One. Remember, your engagement brightens up our day, so don't be shy, subscribe, hit that notification bell, throw us some comments, and share our channel with your mates. That's right. Get the whole family involved, spread the word at the pub, tweet us, share us on your Insta stories, and let's get this show trending, shall we? Our schedule's as reliable as a Formula One pit stop. We're here every day, ready and raring to go. And let's not forget the wizards behind the scenes, our technical team, Felipe and Vicente. Their hard work keeps our motors running. We're already looking forward to the next episode, and we hope you are too. Quite right, Enzo. But before we sign off, remember our golden rule. Johnson, pedal to the metal, keep your gaze on the road, our channel's content is pure gold.